Beyond the Skyline. Hi, welcome to the recap room. In today's video, we'll be talking about an action, adventure, and sci-fi film entitled Beyond the Skyline, a sequel to the 2010 film Skyline. Warning, spoilers ahead. The film starts with a scene where a lady named Rose is in a hospital bed. She is wheeled into a room where a doctor tends to her. The scene then shifts to Los Angeles. A former officer named Mark visits LAPD to see his son, Trent. His former partner, Officer Garcia, leads him to the interrogation room where Trent is sitting comfortably. Mark asks Garcia to lock him up. He says if they let him out, Mark will kill Trent himself. But Officer Garcia warns him that it's Trent's third offense, so if he processes him, he's in for a lot more than an overnighter. He then reveals that things change because of Rose's death. So Mark has no choice but to get his son out. It is obvious that the two don't have a good relationship. They then ride the train home, and there Trent explains that he only hit the guy once. Mark was surprised that he was able to break his jaw with only one punch, and he looks proud. Suddenly, the train crashes and loses its power. Mark then approached the train operator named Audrey. When asked what is the problem, she says power outage and the radio's down. Shortly after, something hits the train, causing everyone to panic. So Audrey goes out her booth and calms everybody down. A sound comes in from the radio. The man warns them not to look at the lights, but they can't seem to understand what he's saying. Mark leads everyone out of the train, in spite of Audrey's reminder not to. She has no choice but to go with them. After walking a while, they arrive at a subway station. Trent and another girl sees a blue light and decides to walk towards it. Back at LAPD, Officer Garcia is surprised that everyone in the station is missing except for another colleague named Jones. Both of them go outside to check what's happening. At the train station, one passenger looks at the blue light and is attracted to it. Trent follows her, and soon he too was drawn to the light. Audrey and Mark find them, so Mark runs after his son, telling him to look down. Outside the station, many people are drawn to the light and are eventually sucked by a ship. Luckily, Mark catches his son and pulls him down. They then run back to the train along with other survivors, and there they coincidentally meet Officer Garcia. They decide to walk through the tunnel. After some walking, they arrive at the service shack. Mark peeks outside and sees the massive alien Mothership. When he sees several aircrafts targeting the alien ship, he asks everybody to get down and run. The attack caused a huge explosion, damaging the tunnel that they are in. Sadly, some of them died as they were escaping. The sun's finally out. While they are looking for a way out, an alien suddenly grabs Garcia. Once again, Trent was attracted by the light, so his father rescues him and shoots the alien. He was able to free Garcia from it. However, the alien unexpectedly awakens and rips Joan's brains out of her head. Audrey leads the blind man out, then others follow. It is then revealed that these aliens need a brain to function, so it starts attacking them again. Only 5 of them survive, and they see the alien Mothership up in the air. They then run for their lives, but another bigger creature is following them. Garcia volunteers to buy them some time, so he stays behind and confronts the alien. But he didn't stand a chance and was easily sucked by it. Mark is left with Trent, Audrey, and the blind man named Sarge. He calls for help and gives them their location. They are at the port about to meet the rescuers, but another huge alien appears. One by one, it sucks them into the alien Mothership. Moments after, Mark wakes up and finds himself inside the ship with other people trapped inside. He wakes up another man who he thought was his son, but the alien suddenly pulls that man and gets his brains out. After that, he throws the body out and gets more victims. Trent finally awakens, but he was about to be the next target, so Mark shoots at the alien's arms to save him. But this got the attention of the alien leader and decides to suck everyone into another chamber. Mark was able to free himself. He was about to be thrown out of the ship, but he got stuck in one of the ship's parts. Meanwhile, the alien's leader is looking for another place to attack, while Mark finds his way back inside the ship. He then sees a ton of pregnant women's corpses with their belly exposed. While exploring, a blue-eyed alien confronts Mark, but he was rescued by an alien with red eyes. It ripped the brain out of the other alien. The scene then shifts to Trent and Audrey hanging somewhere inside. Mark follows the alien who rescued him. He asks for help to find his son, then sees a pregnant woman nearby who is alive. She reveals that after they saw the light, she felt her baby growing inside her. On the other hand, she notices that her boyfriend became stronger and immune to the light. However, they still end up inside the mothership. The woman saw Jared taken by the alien and ripped apart. She adds that they take human brains and use them to drive these machines. And they take the babies too, but the good alien saves them. Apparently, the red-eyed alien is Jared. He still manages to control himself, especially with her girlfriend and child being there. Elaine gives birth with the help of Mark, while the red-eyed alien is watching. She gives birth to a baby girl, but unfortunately, she dies after childbirth. While holding the baby, Mark makes a deal to Jared. He says if he helps him find his son, he promises he'll get his daughter off that ship. Jared agrees. Suddenly, a red light appears in the child's eyes. Jared leads Mark on the ship and shows him where to get an alien weapon. He also reveals his plan to blow the alien mothership. Meanwhile, Audrey and Trent were able to free themselves, and while they are looking for a way out, they reunite with Sarge and try to help him. Mark reaches the heart of the ship and Jared shows him the cannon. They use it to find Trent, but suddenly, the alien leader appears. Jared sends Mark and his daughter to another chamber where he reunites with the others. They then try to rescue Sarge, but Trent is captured by the alien. He lets go of his father's hand and asks him to save Audrey instead.
Save her.
Trent was then killed by the alien. Next target is Audrey, but Mark saves her. At another place, the alien leader and Jared fight, but he's no match for the leader. After that match, he goes over to Mark. While fighting him, he notices the baby. Sarge tries to protect the baby from the alien, but it stabs him. Using his remaining power, Jared destroys the mothership, giving Mark and Audrey a chance to escape from the alien leader. The ship falls and crashes in Laos. There the local residents have been trying to fight against the alien invasion too. Luckily, Mark, Audrey, Sarge and the baby survived the crash and were able to escape from the ship. However, the alien leader is still alive. He begins repairing the ship and starts forming an army. While escaping, Mark, Sarge and Audrey meet Kanya and Sua. Unfortunately, Sarge dies from blood loss. Back at the ship, Trent turns into a humanoid just like Jared. Kanya and Sua escort the Americans to a hut. But when they notice the badge Mark was wearing, they get into a fight. While they are fighting, Kanya spots the police near them, so they all ducked. Sua mentions that since the aliens came, they've been on the warpath. With no choice left, they all team up to escape the police. During the night, they camp out in the field. Mark tells the Lao people about the aliens. The next morning, Mark wakes up with a gun pointed at his head. It was a police officer, but Sua was able to shoot him. Meanwhile, the baby now turns into a toddler. Sua and Kanya led them to a Wat Shiva, their hideout, and they brought the officer with them and locked him in a cell. There, Mark and Audrey meet Harper, a scientist. Harper checks on the little girl's condition. It was then revealed that down there they sell drugs, that's why they were trying to avoid the police. While Harper is examining the little girl's blood, he notices something strange. He doesn't think that she is a human. Hearing this, Kanya immediately goes to the kid, but Audrey protects her. Then Mark and Sua appear. Mark tries to calm them, explaining that the child can be the key to freeing the others. Later, Harper meets them and reveals that there is both good and bad news about the kid. The good news is that she's an extraordinary kid, and the bad news is she's running out. The constant growth has depleted her entire system, therefore, she needs a transfusion. Mark then volunteers to donate his blood for the kid, since he was weaponized. Suddenly, we are back at the first scene. Rose stands up from the hospital bed. Back at the temple, the transfusion was a success. Harper has been experimenting with the blue egg that Kanya found. He reveals that the blue liquid is what fuels their weapons, mind control, and everything else. But it's biologically compatible with human DNA. Harper therefore concludes that these creatures have planted humans on Earth as crops, and they come back to harvest. In addition, he found out that the kid's blood blocks the blue liquid. He then suggests to load one of their bullets with her blood into the right delivery system to free them all. Preparing for their war against the aliens, Sua gives them some weapons. The woman goes outside to plant some traps around when suddenly appears and attacks them. Kenya fires at the creature and runs. She lures it into the minefield. And when she notices that she stepped on a landmine, she decides to give herself up while killing the alien. Finally, the alien leader finds their hideout. As Audrey returns, Mark asks Sua for the syringe so he could bring and inject it to the aliens' cannon. The aliens have now entered the temple, but the humans have prepared a trap for them. Sua fights with an alien and burns it down. Back at the alien mothership, Mark tries to sneak in. However, one of the aliens spots him and attacks. At the temple, the humans have now decided to come out. However, the alien stops them. Mark is now fighting with the alien, and when he notices Mark's wedding ring on the ground, he stops for a while. Turns out, that alien is implanted with Trent's brain. When he was about to kill Mark, he managed to kick in. It's already dawn outside, and the humans are still fighting the aliens. Harper tries to stop an alien from attacking Audrey and ends up being killed. Meanwhile, Mark's attempt to inject the serum is successful. However, the alien leader spots it and destroys the launcher. With no choice left, the humans attack the aliens to survive. It was successful at the beginning until the alien leader arrived, but suddenly, Trent comes to save them. Mark helps him from the ground, while Sua and the others fight those smaller aliens at the temple. As they are all busy fighting, the kid manages to get to the launcher and fix it. The alien leader was about to step on her, but again, Trent comes to the rescue. He grabs the launcher and shoots the red bullet at the alien leader. Because of it, all the aliens left regain their human consciousness. Trent comes up to his father and fist bumps. Audrey named the little kid Rose. Apparently, that was the Rose shown at the beginning of the movie. At the end, with her help along with Trent and other humanoids, they are now taking the fight to them. And that's it for today's recap. For more movie recaps like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell as well so that you are notified on our next uploads. Thank you for watching.